everybody, welcome to episode number 72 of Driftless Knitting. My name is Jennifer. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Driftless Knitter, and you can find the podcast on Ravelry if you search for Driftless Knitting under the Groups tab. Thank you everyone for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, thank you so much for checking out the podcast. I really hope that you enjoy this episode today. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. It's nice to see you again. It's only been 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, so I'm pretty proud of myself. Yeah, I'm pretty glad that I could stick to somewhat of a normal schedule. Yeah, so I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy that you're here as well, and we have a lot to talk about today. I'm coming to you from Cross Plains, Wisconsin, which is just west of Madison, and it is Tuesday. I almost said Monday because I always record on a Monday. Tuesday, November 6th. It is about 6:33 p.m. I'm kind of off my schedule a little bit, but I didn't want to wait until next week to record an episode. So I have a little bit of free time tonight. Seaver is on a run probably right now, and he won't be back probably till about 7 o'clock. So I have a little bit of time to squeeze in a podcast episode before he gets home. I'm cooking dinner right now. That's in the oven baking. So yeah, I'm just sort of squeezing this in between real life stuff. I did work today all day, so yeah, I came home, quickly put something in the oven, sat down to record, briefly turned on the news to see how the polls are coming, because today is election day here in the United States. So I voted this morning, and I was really excited to do that. I'm really feeling positive. You guys will be watching this after all the election results come back. So I'm really hoping that what I want to happen happens. I'm not going to get into politics here, but I'm feeling optimistic, feeling positive in a time when it's not so easy to feel positive about politics and about the current situation of the world and the country. But anyway, I'm looking into the screen now, and I'm realizing just how, I don't know, I look a little tired, maybe. I look a little unkempt, possibly. It was a very busy day at Knit Circus. I was in the store all day today, and getting some orders placed for things to come in for Christmas. We're getting everything stocked up and fun things in the store for the holidays. And we were packaging up a yarn club, which is going out in the next couple of days, which is very exciting, but also very busy. So yeah, it was a good day, but I am a little tired. So bear with me slightly. I don't know if I have anything else about life or anything. I'm gonna maybe keep this episode a little shorter, hopefully, and maybe just stick to yarny, knitty things. And really nothing much has been going on in my life besides work and, you know, some family stuff and fun things like that, and then knitting, obviously, and yarn. So that's what we'll focus on today. So let's jump right in and start with some works in progress. What have I been working on? Let's see. Oh, I meant to go grab my sock blocker, but I didn't. I don't really feel like going upstairs, so you're gonna have to see this not on the blocker. I haven't even seen it on the blocker yet. I don't even know what these kind of look like. Yeah, they're a little scrunched up like these things can be after we finish them before we stretch them out. So it looks a little skinny, it looks a little small, but this is the sock that I was knitting last week. Not last week, 2 weeks ago. This is, the light is a little bit strong when I come really close, so I don't want to do that, but this sock is one that I just kind of made up on a whim. I wanted to knit socks, and I decided I wanted them to be textured, and yeah, so I really like it. It's a little like 1x1 cable along with a rib that is going across the sock. and I really enjoyed knitting these. When did I finish them? I can't even remember when I finished this one. But anyway, I have about a 2-inch or so, maybe a little less than 2-inch rib. Wow, that is really bright when hopefully it doesn't look too bright to you guys. I know it's blowing it out a bit, but. So that is just a 2x2 rib at the top. I knit these toe up like I do with all my socks. Not all of them. Sometimes I knit top down, not very often, but it has been known to happen. Yeah, I do a 56 stitch sock across, around, not across. Again, sorry guys, I'm tired. This is a Fish Lips Kiss heel. I think I mentioned all of this stuff on the last episode, but I'll just review it again. Fish Lips Kiss heel. It's my favorite heel. It fits the best. It's the most fun for me to knit, in my opinion, and yeah, I'll probably keep this as my favorite heel for a very long time. And yeah, I'm happy to have that one done. I knit this out of Three Sisters Abacus Dye Works, which used to be Three Sisters Fiber Company. My friend Lisa, she dyed this beautiful blue and turquoise and brown tan speckle yarn, and I just love it. It's so pretty. I have started the second one. Oh, that's where my cable needle went. Huh. The things you find in the bottom of a knitting bag. So I've started the second one. I cast on for the toe on Saturday when I was teaching a toe up sock class, the second half of it. So we were just doing the heel turn, which is super easy. And so while they were kind of doing that and counting, I didn't want to talk or teach while they were doing that. So I cast on my second toe, and kind of looks like this. That's like the size of the bottom of my face. That's kind of funny. Sorry. The things you get amused about. Okay, so I've done all the increasing for my toe. I've gotten up to where I need to be, and I've knit about one little repeat, so I think that's 5 rows? 5 rows of the foot so far. So I'm not too far, but that was just pretty much done on Saturday, so not a whole lot of work done. And this is the ball of yarn that I have left, quite a lot. My socks, my feet aren't super small. I wear about a 7.5 depending on the shoe, and I have like an average, my feet aren't super narrow, they're not super wide, so that's why I do the 56 stitch sock. I also like them to be tight, pretty tight around my foot. I do not like baggy socks, I cannot stand that, so I want them to be tighter rather than, you know, loose and baggy. And yeah, so I get quite a bit of yarn left over after I knit my socks. Sorry again for I don't think I said this in the beginning, my dishwasher is running right now, and it's just right over there in the kitchen. Our apartment is pretty much one large room, and so yeah, you can hear everything in the other rooms, so apologies for that, but I do need to get some life stuff done while doing all the fun knitting stuff too. So anyways, if you can hear strange noises, that's my dishwasher. So yes, this is what I have left, and like I was saying, I'll probably end up having quite a bit left, which will mean I can knit a square in my cozy memory blanket, and I can also hopefully include this in the advent swap that my friend Lisa, who is the dyer behind this yarn, and my friend Carolyn are going to do. The 3 of us are going to each come up with 12 mini skeins for the other 2 people, and then we're going to do like a swap. So I give, you know, Lisa and Carolyn each 12, and they give me 12. So I'll have 24 total. And yeah, we haven't really talked about the 25th. My vote is that Lisa should give us a full skein of yarn. Just kidding. that's being greedy, but her yarn is gorgeous. Okay, so those are my socks. That project I'm not really worried about finishing. It is a pattern that I've come up with, but you know, I might publish it. I probably will publish it because it's just a fun sock pattern, but it's not one that I'm like dying to get out there, so whenever. I'm not too worried, like I said. The second project I've been working on is in my fall bag, and this is from Thread and Needle? Twisted Thread. What am I thinking? I don't know. And I love this. I love that bag so much. And I have one of the Christmas presents that I'm knitting in this bag. And let me show you the picture first, and then I'll tell you. I messed up a little bit on this, but we're just gonna go with it. So this is the Humboldt, Ashley Hurst, yeah. I knew it was a Quince & Company pattern, but I wasn't sure of the name of the designer. So this is the Humboldt cardigan by Ashley Hurst, and really cute textured cardigan. And when I saw this, I immediately thought of my nephew Ronan. And Ronan is 2.5 years old, just about, a little under 2.5 years old, and I've knit him sweaters for his birthdays, well, not his two-year birthday, but when he was born, and then his 1-year birthday. This will be his 3rd Christmas. So for both Christmases, I knit him sweaters, and my sister has used every single one of them, and they love, you know, using and having him wear my hand knit sweaters, which is awesome. So I thought I would knit another one, of course. And yeah, I got started on this. It flew. I mean, I think I've only been working on this for a week, a little over a week now. When did I start it? No, maybe it's been about 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks. But still, I'm almost done, really. You guys haven't seen this because I think I cast on right after the podcast. So I have the body done, I have one sleeve done, and I have half of the other one. As you can see, I'm in the middle of a row on Magic Loop. The sleeves are done in reverse stockinette, and the body is this slip stitch pattern, which I'll show you in closer detail in just a second. I'm using Barocco Ultra Wool, which is a wonderful superwash worsted weight wool. I like it much better than Cascade 220 superwash. I like it much better than the Rowan wool, superwash wool. And yeah, it's really soft, but it's not that typical merino soft. It's a little more woolly than that, but still not scratchy, and a much better price point than a lot of the worsted weight superwash merinos like Malabrigo or Madeline Tosh have gorgeous worsted weight superwash wool yarns that are great for, you know, kids knits, but it's not always the price point that you want it to be. So this is a great alternative. Again, like I said, it's a little more sheepy, a little more woolly, which I actually really like, and I love knitting with it. This is the stonewashed colorway, I'm pretty sure. This is what the back of it looks like. And it looks nice. It looks nice. It has a lot of stretch. They said that the unblocked measurements are nothing. Don't base anything on the unblocked measurements. Don't be worried that it looks a little too small. Like, I'm knitting the 4-year-old size right now, and it looks a little short. It looks a little narrow, but it has so much give. Like, look at all that stretch. So once I get it wet and block it out, it's just gonna lay beautifully. The thing I messed up on, though, I misread the pattern pretty much, this textured stitch pattern, and as you can see, my slip stitches are all in a row. I slipped the same stitch in this, you know, in the row every single time. And I was supposed to do like every other one. So it was supposed to create this diamond. I don't know how much you can see this, probably not very well because of the light. Nope, that's not gonna work. Okay, well, it's supposed to create this kind of diamond texture. And after a while, you know, I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool looking, this is nice, but I swear it looked different in the pattern. So I looked at the picture, sure enough, it looks like a diamond texture. And then I reread the stitch pattern. I totally misunderstood it. I don't know if I was I'm gonna make a slight excuse for myself. I was ill when I started this pattern. I was sick. I had a bad cold for about 2 weeks, and when I cast this sweater on, I did not feel 100%, and my brain was not 100%, and so I didn't read the pattern very well at all. I remember being slightly confused by the stitch pattern and then being like, okay, well, I know what they're trying to tell me, I'm just gonna do it and it'll be fine. And yeah, I misunderstood it, but that's okay. This is just my variation of it, and it's still cute. It's still gonna be warm. It's still gonna be nice and squishy. I don't care. It still has this awesome cable. Can you see that cable running up the side? I forgot to show that earlier. So it has these cables on both sides. It's gonna be just fine. But yeah, I was kind of like rolling my eyes at myself that, yeah, I shouldn't have been casting on a new project when I probably had a low-grade fever. So anyway, that's that pattern, that project. It's slowly coming together. I probably would have had it done, the second sleeve done by now, but I actually started another whip that I wanted to get done super quickly, and that has another story to it, so let's move on. Let's move on to that one. Oh man, yeah, and I did, now that I'm thinking about it, I cast this on a week ago Friday, so it hasn't been quite 2 weeks yet. So that's pretty good for a week and a half, I would say. So the project that I cast on just a couple of days ago, slightly on a whim, not really. I was planning on doing this. I was kind of planning on doing it for Thanksgiving, to get it done by Thanksgiving, and then I decided I wanted to start sooner than that. This is a hat for my nephew. And I'm knitting this out of, this is Knit Circus Yarns Renegade Unicorn. I cannot talk. And this is our Ringmaster worsted weight base. So it's 100% superwash merino, super soft, and yeah, super vibrant colors. So I asked my nephew a few weeks ago if he wanted me to knit him a hat, and my sister's mentioned a couple of times how he just doesn't have a really good hat to wear. And I knit him some when he was a baby, but I hadn't knit him anything since he became a toddler, and his head is much larger than it was. So yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while that I want to knit him a hat, maybe a hat and mitten set. And so I asked him, I was like, you know, do you want me to knit you a hat? And he said yes. He was very excited. And then I asked him what color he wanted me to knit it in. And he at first said yellow. And then I was like, okay, a yellow hat. And then he said green, blue, red, like all the colors. He just went through, like, he was laughing, I was laughing. And I said, do you want me to knit you a hat with all those colors in it? And he said, he nodded his head. So I knew we had the perfect yarn at Knit Circus. This is our rainbow yarn that isn't in-your-face rainbow, in my opinion. It has all the colors in it, it looks cool, but it's still a little subtle. And this is what it looks like right now. So the interesting thing that I actually really like about this yarn, it looks really weird right now, is that it still changes color. So Knit Circus is known for its yarn that changes color on its own. It's gradient, or it's like a gradient speckle. And this is a little different. We call these our abstract yarns. So it is going to change slightly. There's more color in one section than in another, and we do this on purpose, obviously. We dye it this way. So you're going to get cool colors, and then you're going to get a bunch of warm colors, and then it's going to transition back to cool colors. And then you can see here in my ball of yarn, I have lots of greens, blues, and purples, but then look what's coming next. It's going to be variegated again with the warm colors. So yeah, so I thought this would be really fun. Plus it's on a little kid, so it doesn't have to be completely uniform. There's a little bit of like some interesting color play with these little cables here. I kind of pooled a little bit, but again, I really don't care. So this is his bonbon hat. This is the bonbon hat from, or bonbon toque from Tin Can Knits. It is I think like a $3 or $4 pattern on Ravelry, so it is a pay-for pattern. And then there is a pair of mittens that go along with it that has kind of the same cable detail on it. And I have that pattern as well. And I think that these patterns were originally in the Great White North, their book of patterns by that name. But you can buy them all individually on Ravelry as well. So that's what I did. And I really am enjoying this. It is the child's version, so it's a little smaller than an adult hat, but it knit up so fast. I cast this on Sunday night. I was seeing my sister and my nephew yesterday, which was Monday, and I thought, you know, I'll just cast it on, I'll show it to him when I go and see them, and then I'll finish it by Thanksgiving and give it to her then. Give it to him then, I suppose. But it went so fast. I was done with half of it by the end of Sunday night, and I only knit for maybe an hour and a half. And then Monday, when we were on our way to, we went to an apple orchard. When we were on our way there, I kept knitting on it, and I actually finished it. Which you're like, wait a second, you have needles in that hat. Well, let me tell you, their sizing, in my opinion, is a little off. If you actually want this hat to fit a child who's older than a year, and if you actually want it to go over their ears and come down past their ears, you have to add about 2 to 3 inches to it. Ronan does have kind of a larger head, I think. We all kind of do. Like I have a pretty average size head maybe, but it's definitely maybe on the large size of average, if that's a thing. Definitely not small heads in our family, but still, I put it on him because I finished it right when we got to the apple orchard. I put it on him, and it went like this. It was like one of those like beanies that just come down that have like the twirly thing on top. I don't know what those are called, but I see like in cartoons and stuff. That's what it kind of looked like. It was so funny. So my sister, she felt so bad. She's like, oh no. She's like, can you fix it? I'm like, yes, I can fix it. So I took it home last night. Seaver and I were watching Netflix, I think, and I just unpicked the bind off and ripped it out. I just ripped until I got down to, there's like a big, and you can't really see it on camera because of the variegated yarn, but there's some cable detail here, and then you just knit these cable sections. Like these sections are purl. You knit these sections just in stockinette. So it's all knitting all the way up, and then you have some more cable details at the top. Well, they have you measure it before you start those cable details, and it was only wanting me to knit from the brim, from the cast on brim to where I was gonna do the second cable and then decrease, and it's a very fast decrease. The decreases are only about 3 rows, 3 to 4 rows. It like comes down super fast. So it wanted me to stop knitting about here and then do the cabling, and I think like 3 rows after the cable, so I would have gotten about here, and then the decreases would have gotten me about here, and it was gonna measure about a little over 5 inches total, which is not very much. So I ripped it out. I went back to that the stockinette section, and I knit an extra inch, I think, and then I started the cable detail. So, and I think I might even knit an extra couple rows before I do the decreases, because I just think this is a pretty good size now. I have, I think I started the decrease. Maybe I'll put an extra row somewhere in between some of the decrease rows. But yeah, for a kid, I mean, think about only adding an extra maybe 2, 3, 4 rows to that, and then it being done. So yeah, I just think maybe it's not meant to be a super warm hat to cover the ears. I don't know. I just think that the measurements could be a little more generous, but that's just my own opinion, and not every kid has as big of a head as my nephew, so you never know. But yeah, this has been really fun. It's knit up super fast, like I said, but it has taken knitting time away from like the sweater and the socks, which isn't a big deal, but yeah, it's really fun. So I'll have that done for him. I'll probably be done with it maybe tonight if I get some knitting time, and then give it to him on Thanksgiving, because I will see my sister and her family then. Yay! Okay, that is it for my works in progress right now. I do have a finished object, another finished object, although I do have to do a little bit of finishing technically on this. But this is one you guys have seen before, and this is the Precious Cowl that I'm knitting for my mom for Christmas. And this is again out of a Knit Circus yarn. This is our Wallflower colorway on our Opulence base, which has cashmere, nylon, and merino. It's our MCN base. So yeah, I cast on here with the pink, and then knit. This is such an addicting lace stitch pattern. It's so addicting, and it's memorizable. Yeah, I was not even needing the pattern by, like, I knit maybe half a dozen repeats, and then I was good. I didn't need it anymore, not even to remind me of like the first row. You do have to like stop when you get done with a repeat, and you're like, okay, like that was it, now I go back to the beginning, and then, you know, but yeah, so there's the pinks, and then it transitions into yellow, and then that transitions into, I hope you can see this okay, into blue, and then blue into darker blue, and then it's done. So this was originally supposed to be Kitchener together. You're supposed to do a provisional cast on, but I was on vacation when I started this. I was actually in the car on my way home from vacation, and I didn't have a crochet hook. I didn't really feel like waiting, so I just knit an extra row in stockinette at the cast on before I started the lace section, and then I knit an extra row at the end, and I'm going to mattress stitch them because I really don't care. It'll have a little bit of a seam, but this yarn, you'd be able to tell, I mean, one's pink, one end is pink, and one end is blue, so you'd be able to tell where it started and stopped anyway, so I'm not too worried. And yeah, so I'll sew these two ends together, and then it'll be this really gorgeous lacy loop. And I'm thinking my mom will be able to wrap this around twice. It's super drapey now because I blocked it really well, and that lace is standing out. I just love it. It's so pretty. I would consider knitting another one of these. I think it's so nice to use up 100 grams of fingering weight in one go and just make a beautiful lacy cowl, and I think it works really well for the Knit Circus yarn, the gradients. it's gonna look really pretty, you know, kind of bunched up around her neck and twisted up, and yeah, I'm really excited to see that finished. And I think, yeah, she's gonna get a lot of wear out of this. So that's my finished object. As you can see, I have the tail from my bind off that I saved. I cut a really long tail so that I can use that to mattress stitch it, so I don't have to worry about securing an end. Yeah, I probably won't show this to you guys again just because you've already seen the finished knitting, and I feel like that is the most important thing. But I will post pictures of finished pictures of it. That didn't make any sense. On my Ravelry page, I do projects for most of my knitted projects, so you can see that there. Okay, so that's really it for the knitting content. Kind of short. We're only about a half an hour in, so that's cool. But I do have a couple things to show you that I got in. Oh, silly me. One of the things that I got, sorry, I just thought of this and I forgot to show this. You probably saw it though and spied it and were wondering. One of the things I got this week was a Sucre Sucre miniature charm. We carry these at Knit Circus. We have a selection of them, and they just came in, a new batch of them just came in like a week ago. So I got a sugar cookie, which is in my bag unopened, and I'll show it to you when I have it on a project. But I also got, oh, it's gonna blow this out. Okay, hold on. Let me turn the light off. Oh, that's bad. Let me turn it down a little bit. It's still gonna blow it out. So this is a really cute cup of hot chocolate. I'm not putting it up super close to the camera because it's just gonna blow it out, but, and you can see there are sprinkles on the top and some marshmallows, and it's dripping a little bit on the edge. So I just thought that was a really fun, really sweet, kind of wintry stitch marker. Okay, I'm gonna turn this up again. And yeah, I'm kind of getting more and more into the festive spirit, even though it's only the beginning of November, but I love Christmas, and I love the way that Christmas makes me feel. So I'm kind of starting to surround myself with Christmassy, festive-y things, even though we haven't decorated our apartment at all. There is no Christmas decorations so far up. Maybe around Thanksgiving, we will put the lights and the garland on our staircase, our banister, and then maybe the beginning of December I'll put up the Christmas tree. But yeah, I went to World Market the other day. If you guys are followers of my Instagram account, you watch the stories that I do on there, you will have seen I had a lot of fun in World Market. I went to get an advent calendar because I figured if I wait until the beginning of December or like the week before December, they're probably going to be sold out. So I went there and I got a Lind chocolate advent calendar. I'm very excited about that. And I got another couple few things too. So another couple few. That doesn't give you any idea of how many things I got. Anyway, yeah, just some cute little things and some sweets. And I found something for my Oma. They have a lot of the treats and the sweets that we used to eat as kids because my Oma is German, and she would get things sent to her from her family and her friends in Germany, but then also we kind of, I don't want to say we had connections, but she knew where to go to buy like the true authentic, you know, German products, either into Chicago or in the suburbs. We lived in kind of the suburbs of Chicago, and so we grew up eating and loving lots of different German treats. So I was like sending pictures to my dad for him to show her and like, remember these, remember these? So it was really fun. And she loves these chocolate covered orange peels. You guys have probably seen them. It's like they're in a ball and they kind of like open up, and it's like these they look like orange slices, but they're chocolate. And on the inside, I'm not sure if it's real orange peel or if it's just flavored. I think it's real orange peel. she loves those, so I had to pick one up for her, and yeah, I had a lot of fun. So that was kind of my first foray into festive, Christmassy things, and now I'm kind of sprinkling them into my knitting life as well. Just because I'm knitting Christmas presents, I'm knitting things for the cold weather. I can put a hot chocolate on there, and a festive Christmas cookie charm, and oh, that's my dinner. Hold on one second. Okay, I am back. I just had to check on that, and it has to cook for a little longer, so we're good to go. So I think I was talking about including more festive things in my life, even though it's just the beginning of November. And one of those things came in the mail and is another of my acquisitions this week. I am so excited about this. I just cannot tell you how excited this makes me. So I have been following My Cottage Number 9, which is a maker. Oh, Terry, of course, Terry. For a second I blanked on your name. I'm so sorry. Terry lives in Ireland. She is actually really good friends with Grace of the Babbles Traveling Yarns podcast, which is another one of my favorite makers. I love her podcast, and I get so excited when I see that she has like stories on her Instagram and posts, and she definitely is one of my favorite makers to follow, as is Terry, because Terry makes the most beautiful project bags. Yeah, it almost makes me speechless. So I have been following her. I've been drooling over her bags and thinking that it was too much of an extravagance to buy a project bag from Ireland and have it shipped over here, and I just kept talking myself out of ordering one. And then she posted a photo of some bags that were going into her shop. And there was one that was so cute and festive and subtly Christmas and just wintry. Oh, just the wintry goodness of this. And I fell in love. And I think I posted something on that picture like, oh, I love it so much. And oh, I was just like, I was gushing over it. And then a couple days later, she posted that they were going in the shop and they were there, and go buy one if you wanted one. And on a whim, I went into her Etsy to see if there were any left. And there was. And there was one. And I got it. I was so excited. I got it. She's posted more of these, but still, I felt like I had won the lottery. So these are her. Let me show you first, actually, let me show you the fabric I'm talking about, because it is so cute. So it came last week, and I absolutely love it. It's a winter wonderland, a foresty winter wonderland, and it makes my heart so happy. So I love the bear, giving the little heart to the other bear. See that little bear sleeping up there in the tree? And the little squirrels. And then look on the back. Some deer, a bunny. Is that a fox or another squirrel? I think that's just a squirrel. More bears, more deer. I just love it. And this minty green, this is like one of my favorite colors ever. So this minty green on the outside and the handles just makes me so happy. The inside is a beautiful tan, not too dark, so I can still see what's in there, but it just offsets the bag so well. This is so well made. It is thick, and it is quilted, not quilted, but it is like, it's just amazing. It's lined. I love it. It has one big pocket and one little skinny pocket. I don't know if I can actually, oh yeah, huh. It's like, I don't think you'll be able to see that. You totally can see that. So one big pocket, and then the skinny, where's the skinny pocket? Skinny pocket's over here. Skinny pocket right there. And yeah, I haven't actually used this for a project yet. I'm waiting. I'm probably going to put my sister's Christmas present in here that I'm going to be working on. It actually had the yarn in it before I brought it down, so yeah, I'll probably do that. But yeah, so I haven't used it yet. I'm just so over the moon about this, and it's my cottage number 9, and this is the coolest part. Okay, so it's this really awesome bag, but look, it has a drawstring, and then, wait for it, and mine isn't broken in yet. I think these will get more pliable. It has handles. So those bands that you saw running across the sides, when you do the drawstring, it comes together as handles. And you can carry it like this, and I think it's the most amazing, genius thing ever. And I've been seeing them on Grace's podcast, I've been seeing them on Instagram, like I said, and to have my very own cottage number 9 bag, I feel so lucky. I feel so lucky, and it really wasn't that expensive. I mean, I've seen, I can't remember how much it was, but I've seen bags that cost this much that are shipping from 2 states away. It doesn't make a huge difference, and it's so well made and so worth it, that I'd probably pay this much in person, like without shipping, for this bag. So I don't feel bad at all. It makes me so happy. So that's my cottage number 9 bag. Okay, the next thing I got in the mail, I just got this yesterday, so I'm really glad I was able to podcast today and show it to you, is from Earth Yarns. And Earth is spelled U-R-T-H, but it is kind of a play on Earth, like our planet. And they reached out to me and asked if they could send me some things. And I very excitingly said yes. Excitedly said yes. And this is a family-owned company down in Florida. They are very eco-friendly and conscious about their impact on the earth and about all of our impacts on the earth. They have this awesome program called Buy a Skein, Plant a Tree, I think. Let me just... Knit One, Plant One is what they have on their tags, but it's pretty much you buy a skein of yarn and they donate money so that this charity in Africa can plant trees. And what happens with this charity, why it is in Africa, is because it not only helps with, you know, carbon emissions and all that thing, that's why we should all be planting trees and, you know, doing what we can, but it also helps with soil erosion. It helps provide food if it's a fruit-bearing tree. It helps provide food for communities and families. It can also help, you know, obviously one tree is going to become more trees, and eventually it will help with fuel. They'll be able to use, you know, some of the timber for fuel, and it just kind of, you know, it keeps going. It's like when you give a family, you know, a chicken or a flock of chickens. Not only are they going to get, you know, eggs one day, but they're going to get baby chickens, and then they're going to, you know, use the chicken for meat, and they're going to, you know, all that sort of thing. So it just kind of, it keeps going, it keeps giving. And I think that is a really, really cool initiative to be a part of. They sent me 4 full skeins of yarn, which is insane, and a sock set. So I'll show these to you really quickly. I did show them all off on my Instagram. Those stories will be gone by now, but if you do follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen all of this already. But the first one that they sent me is their Harvest Worsted, and this is naturally dyed. All of the Harvest line is all naturally dyed with plant-based dyes, and this is the blueberry colorway. So this is dyed with blueberries. I think that is so cool. It's this pinky mauve, but it does every so often have a little bit of like a purple hue to it, which is really cool. So we have this one. This is extra fine superwash merino. How many yards? 225 yards, and it's 100 grams. And again, it has all this information on the Knit One, Plant One. initiative, and that's on their website, which is earthyarns.com. Where was that? Yep, earthyarns.com. So yeah, that's really cool. So that's a worsted weight. This one is also in their Harvest collection, but this is a fingering weight, and this is purple carrot. So it is dyed with purple carrots. It's 435 yards and 100 grams and 100% superwash merino. So I love this periwinkle blue. It's just so gorgeous. Seaver saw this one and he thought this was gorgeous. And he couldn't believe that it was dyed with purple carrots. I'm like, yeah, you can do really cool things with natural dyes. All of their their Harvest collection colors are all gorgeous. Seaver, again, he was kind of looking through it with me, and he picked out a couple colors that he would actually like, he said, knit into a sweater possibly if I wanted to, because we've been talking about me knitting him a sweater, and he kind of said that would be really cool, which I agree. I'm not sure how much they cost, again, because they sent these to me. But yeah, I think it would be really cool to knit him a bigger project with that. So those are the two Harvest skeins. And then I have two skeins of Unique, one in worsted and one in fingering. This is the worsted weight. This is not dyed naturally, but it's a self-striping hand-dyed yarn on extra fine superwash merino. So there's the tag, and then look at those really fun colors. I'm not sure what I'm gonna make out of this. I can kind of see my cousin's daughter really liking these colors, and I've knit lots of things for her, and she wears and loves all of them, so I think this would be fun to make a project for her. Not sure what I would make. A hat, or maybe some like leg warmers would be fun. I don't know if that would be too heavy in a worsted weight, but I'll think about it. That'll be really fun. And then this is a skein of variegated yarn. This one subtly, it does like micro striping. And let's see. This is, I think these both just have color numbers. They don't actually have a name, but this is the Unique fingering. And I love these earthy colors so much. I mean, you guys know, these are my jam. And I love how it's really, really subtle, and then you get that pop of turquoise blue. Awesome. Love it. So this has, did I already say? Oh, this is kind of the same base as the purple carrot fingering weight. So it has 435 yards, has 100 grams, superwash merino fingering weight. Yep. So yeah, so those are the 4 skeins that they sent me. And then they also sent me this little matching sock set, which is so cute. This is, oh, it's so glary. You can kind of see the yarn in there. The main thing though is that it is 2 little cakes of 220 yards each. Both of them are 50 grams, and yeah, it's 75% merino and 25% nylon sock weight. And you can see the color, how it would dye up, or how it would knit up right there. So, because it's kind of hard to tell that anyway if you looked at the yarn, but I think that's super, super fun. So some self-striping socks will be in my future. I'm very excited about that. And I am so grateful to Earth Yarns for getting in contact with me and asking me if I'd like to try out their yarns. I hadn't really heard of them before. So I'm really glad that they drew my attention to their company. They are doing amazing things, and I'm really happy that they reached out. It's the type of company that I love getting behind, and I cannot wait to knit with this yarn. I am so excited. So the very last thing I want to talk to you about is about my Ode to Autumn shawl. And I introduced you guys to this shawl last week on my podcast. This is my new design. I'm going to show it to you guys one more time. Look at that. It's so big. I have to like back up and show it to you that way. Oh, I just love that. I mean, look at those stitches. Gosh, it's so pretty. So this is knit out of the Woolen Homestead yarn, their Polworth DK base, in the Autumn Leaves and the Ruby colorway. And there's Seaver. So I released this pattern last Thursday, and I am so grateful to all of you who got a copy on Ravelry. It was so fun to see everybody's comments and reactions, and people saying that they were gonna go, go home and buy a copy. And yeah, it just makes me feel really good. So thank you guys, thank you so much. I did want to say, I didn't get a chance to say this last time because it was 2 weeks ago. I hadn't finished the pattern yet, and obviously it wasn't released yet, but I am offering a 10% discount right now. It is only through this upcoming Thursday, which is, I believe, the 8th of November. So you can use this coupon through the 8th of November, 10% off the pattern. Use coupon code AUTUMN. I don't think it has to be in all caps, but I did write it in all caps, so it might be cap sensitive, or case sensitive. But anyway, so you can get 10% off that, and that is just a thank you to everybody who has been so supportive and lovely about this pattern release. So thank you again. And I'm really excited to see people starting to knit this. One of my best friends, Lisa of Abacus Dye Works, she is already knitting one. As the last time I heard from her was Sunday, and she was already at the first lace section, and she had just cast on Friday, I think. So she was buzzing through it, and I really hope that she is having a good time knitting it. And yeah, I can't wait to see what hers looks like. So yeah, Ode to Autumn. Check it out on Ravelry. And thank you to everyone who is going to go out and buy a copy of it. There has been talk and questions about a knit-along. I was thinking that I would do a knit-along starting, mid-November or so and going to end of December. And I'm just kind of unsure about that because I know a lot of people are trying to knit Christmas presents. So if you guys think that you would like to knit one of these either as a gift or just for yourself, let me know that. Or I was thinking about waiting until after Christmas and after the holidays. So give me your opinion and tell me what you think. Seaver's in the kitchen right now, so if you hear a little crinkling, that's him, but that's okay. We're pretty much done here, so he and I are gonna go eat some dinner, and yeah, and I haven't seen him since, oh, here he comes. Are you gonna say hi?
Hi, Knitting World.
Oh, jeez. This couch isn't big enough for the both of us. Oh, you're damp.
Yeah, I just got done running.
Oh, jeez. Ugh. Yeah. Ooh, popcorn. Thank you.
Yeah. She made chicken tonight, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yep. Hopefully it tastes good.
Oh, it's gonna be marvelous.
Okay, so we're gonna go eat some chicken, and thank you all for watching. If you have comments or questions, you can put those in the Ravelry group. Follow me on Instagram and Ravelry. Go check out the Ode to Autumn shawl, and hopefully he's a fan. Hopefully I will be back again in 2 weeks and for another podcast episode. So thank you all for watching. Keep doing things that make your heart happy, and I will be doing the same. Bye!
Cheers!
It was so fun to see everyone's comments and reactions about how they were. Sorry, it's kind of loud.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. How do I usually end it? I think.
Knitting is fun and we love to knit.
Knitting is fun. Knitting is fun.
Should I leave?
No, you're fine. You look happy. I'm not like that. You look like I'm like holding a gun to your head or something.